Okay, so for the
born in Nigeria.
Touch TV News Channel. The best.
It has been a goodwill message from Professor
Seaback. There were many DGs prior to me, but Professor, that is standing right here with me, has made life so much easier for me without even knowing it. Sir, what year were you DG of Seaback?
2006 to 2014.
2006 to 2014. And there's so many rooms to this day that when I enter, as soon as I say Seaback, because of him, they open doors for me. So I needed to take this time to appreciate Professor for leaving a legacy behind. Sometimes with hard work and dedication, you don't know what you're doing for others that are coming behind you. So I think you are a great example for Nigerians, a great example for me, and an inspiration for many of us. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. MC, don't find me. Thank you.
Members of the diplomatic corps, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, and if I miss...
And he was here teaching us all over again. Thank you so
much. Your Excellency, Your Excellency, the Federal, the very amiable Director General of
art, culture, tourism, and the creative economy, the very amiable and wave-making Director General of the Center for Black and African Art and Civilization, other Directors General on the high table, the Ambassador who is here present with us, my colleague, the keynote speaker, Professor Munda Elupeju, who has just fed us with some very scintillating ideas about how we can use cultural diplomacy to promote African unity. I shall try to be brief. First, to thank Seaback and especially the Director General for the honor of inviting me to be part of this event. I am happy to see that Seaback is making waves and that it is now bigger than where we left it at. I want to congratulate you and your team for doing a great job. It's interesting to note that the idea of cultural diplomacy has been with us for a long time. You will all agree with me that the very idea of organizing FESTAC was actually rooted in promoting cultural diplomacy. It was not just meant to bring together African peoples all over the world, but also to ensure that we use that opportunity to promote international understanding. And that's what cultural diplomacy is all about. It is the use of culture to promote dialogue, to promote mutual understanding and relations among nations. It also evinces what the Honorable Minister described as soft power. And when we talk about soft power, we talk about power that allows you to influence people without forcing them. You co-opt without coercing, and you influence without force. This is what cultural diplomacy is all about. In those days of the world wars, the Cold War, people tended to emphasize more the use of force, guns and artillery. But these days, all of us, if we look at what America has done to the entire world, especially the Hollywood industry, many youths have begun to like America, not because they have ever been there, but what they have watched in movies. Thankfully, that is happening to us now through Nollywood. And I think that is one avenue that we need to use and take advantage of to promote diplomacy within our context. Of course, Culture is an all-embracing phenomenon. It not only talks about your art, your music, it talks about your perception of the world. How do you view the world? It talks about, it's a frame for evaluation. What do you understand to be admirable, not admirable? What you understand to be desirable and not desirable? And so it's the whole essence of what we are. So when we depart from culture, or we take culture out of diplomacy, it's an empty shell that is left behind. One of the major problems that I think we have in many parts of Africa is that we have that advantage of culture. I know there is diversity, but there are also structural similarities within our culture. Respect for elders, veneration of ancestors, the issue of settling dispute through peaceful resolution without necessarily going to war, like the keynote speaker said. These are elements of African culture that are common to many African states. I think we can take advantage of those commonalities in our culture to promote not just our unity, but to also use it to influence other nations peacefully. I believe that even though colonialism has done a lot to divide us, we have a lot that we can use to unite ourselves. What can Africa...
Okay, so for the
Suppose talking about repatriation of artifacts stolen from Africa, more or less, what is your view on that? Up till now, so much has not been achieved.
I'm not sure it is right to say that in the area of repatriation of African artifacts, so much has not been achieved. I think a lot has been achieved, but there's still a long way to go. You will recall that in recent years, we have heard from Germany, we have heard from France repatriated, we've heard from several parts of Europe, artifacts and artworks that were taken away. Indeed, you have a huge collection of repatriated artifacts now in Benin. And the Oba of Benin himself has been personally involved in negotiations that led to the retrieval and recovery and repatriation of these artifacts. So it's a continuous process. I think what we need to do is to keep up the advocacy for us to return them. Some of them were stolen, as you know, forcefully taken away because of maybe the war, the invasion of our continent. And they go to adorn the museums of other people's countries, from which they make a lot of money, ironically. And what is important about these artifacts, they contain in them memories of our history, of our ancestors. They are not with us and they are disconnected from us. It's like a part of us has been taken away. So it becomes imperative that we continue the advocacy and we ensure that our governments are actively involved in this process. I know CBAC did a lot to get that done, and they are still doing it. I knew when I was DG, I had to write a letter to the then director of the British Museum to ask that Queen Ida mask, which is now currently in the British Museum, repatriated. They've not done it, but I know with the efforts of those who have taken over the ministry now, we can have that also repatriated as well, like the other ones that are being repatriated.
Thank you very much.
I'm Tunde Babawale. I teach political science at the university.